hormone doctors, functional medicine nurse practitioners, a doctor for thyroid. Well, if you've ever wondered how to find a functional medicine doctor or a hormone doctor, I'm here to help. If you stay to the end of this video, I'll provide ways to connect experienced hormone doctors with patients who need one. I'm Steve Goldring from simplehormones.com. I help both patients and functional medicine practitioners with easy to understand patient education resources, especially resources about how optimal hormones can transform your life. One of the ways I love helping both providers and patients at the same time is by acting as a sort of matchmaker. I recently checked my email list and I found that I have over 2,633 patients on it who are looking for a menopause doctor, a doctor for their thyroid, a functional medicine practitioner, or a hormone optimization specialist somewhere in their area. All these patients need somebody to help them with their hormones. The great news is that I know a lot of hormone doctors. I know a lot of nurse practitioners and physician's assistants who specialize in hormone optimization. When I say I know them, I'm not just talking about reading their names on a website. Many of these hormone optimization specialists are people that I've spent time with. I've interviewed them on video. I've sat down with them over lunch or dinner or a glass of wine or a cup of coffee. I've talked with some of them on email or over the phone. I have a very real sense of who I can really heartily recommend to patients that ask me for a recommendation. And I have a lot of patients asking me that question. Over the past few weeks, I've had a bunch of patients contact me. I told a woman in Grand Prairie, Texas, near Dallas, about my dear friend Dr. Leanne Scott and her BFF, Dr. Connie Cassad. Both of them are OBGYNs in Dallas. They're incredible, experienced, caring, and skilled hormone optimization providers. I've been to visit both of these amazing women in their offices. I've talked with their staffs, had lunch and dinner with them several times. A woman in Annapolis, Maryland was thrilled when I let her know about 3 experienced hormone optimization providers that are within about 45 minutes of her. At first, she was asking about menopause, and then she added that she'd been taking Synthroid since she was maybe 14 years old, and she wondered if those providers might be able to help manage both her menopause and her thyroid issues. A woman in Pasadena, California messaged me on Instagram saying she's been suffering with hormone-related migraines and she's looking for some help. I was able to recommend my friend Dr. Ed Liu. He's a hormone doctor from Glendale, about 15 minutes away from her. I interviewed Dr. Liu a couple years ago and I really enjoyed talking with him. I recommended him as somebody who's gentle, soft-spoken, and really trustworthy. A provider who seems to care deeply about his patients. I interviewed my friend Dr. Ursula Fuchs a few years back. She's an OBGYN in St. Louis. I've recommended her to a couple of patients. Then there's Charlie Whispert. He's an enthusiastic, outgoing, energetic physician's assistant in Augusta, Georgia. He's really passionate about family practice. So many others. Dr. Tim McKnight in Ohio, Dr. George Rice in Alaska, Dr. Gay Gorman in Midland, Michigan, nurse practitioner Robert Morgan in Houston, Texas, psychiatric nurse practitioner Beth York in Franklin, Tennessee. I'm telling you, I know a lot of these great functional medicine doctors, physician's assistants, and hormone nurse practitioners. Just yesterday, I got a call from Lisa Grissom. She's a nurse practitioner in Hendersonville, Tennessee, just outside of Nashville. She wanted to talk to me about some of the thyroid videos that I've posted in the past couple of weeks and how to incorporate that information with her patients. Well, I live in Salt Lake City and I get asked all the time, do you know any hormone doctors in Salt Lake? Or who's the best doctor for PCOS in Utah? Well, that's an easy question for me to answer because Dr. Rachel Burnett is the first one who comes to mind. I've probably referred 6 or 8 people to her over the past couple of years. She's a naturopath with a ton of experience in optimizing people's hormones. If Rachel Burnett has a fault in her functional medicine practice, it's that she spends too much time with patients. Her first appointment is as long as 3 hours. Sometimes she has a hard time turning patients away, even if her practice is completely booked, which it almost always is. Well, I have a dear friend in central New York who's been looking for someone to help her out with hot flashes and other menopause symptoms. I gotta say that I've struggled finding hormone doctors that I really know and trust close to her that I can recommend. I do know a great hormone doctor in Manhattan. I've had dinner and a few wine flights with him at a couple of conferences, but his office is way too far from my friend in New York. He's also maybe a bit on the high end price-wise, if you know what I mean. Unfortunately, I don't have functional medicine practitioner contacts in every city or even in every state, but I am working on it. If you're a hormone optimization practitioner and you're interested in getting some new patients that want to know about optimal hormones, I'd love to try to connect you with patients who need you that also happen to be nearby. I'm working on a really slick way to be that matchmaker that I talked about, somebody who can connect patients needing hormone optimization with great providers like you. Click the link in the description below and add your contact information to my hormone optimization provider database. Well, I can't guarantee that I'll have patient referrals in your area, but it doesn't really cost anything to put yourself on my list other than a couple of minutes. The more providers I have on my list, the easier it'll be to find a good fit. If you're a patient looking for a functional medicine doctor or nurse practitioner who can help you with your hormones, click the link either right in this video or in the description below, and I'll check to see if there's a hormone doctor close to you that I can recommend. Again, I can't promise you anything, but I'll give it my best shot. Most of the time I can find somebody close by. If you found this video helpful at all, be sure to click the like and subscribe buttons and get notified anytime I post a new one. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll look forward to talking to you again soon. And I'll look forward to hearing from you, whether you're a physician, physician's assistant, nurse practitioner, or a patient.